Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings, part 2 of the 2022 Fantasy Golf Draft for full season earnings. It's an 11-player snake draft. We're already through 3 rounds, so what you need to do is watch part 1 if you haven't watched that yet, or listen to it on the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast, because that would be strange if you just jumped in. Maybe you just love part 2s. Maybe you're a big sequel person. Many people say sequels better than the original. In some circumstances, most cases, not so much. But, we're a bit more lubricated this time around. But I do want to remind everyone to play in the giant one-and-done tournament. It starts at the Sony Open, but spots are going to be filled before then. The $500,000 guaranteed race for the Mayo Cup. You could have up to 5 entries. I am giving 2 away right now to people out there. All you need to do is subscribe, rate, and review the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast on Apple Podcast. 5 stars, say something nice about the show, leave your Twitter handle or email in the comment to get a ballot into that draw. But you can gain more ballots by subscribing, rating, and reviewing, and doing the exact same thing to anyone else's podcast who is on this show. So it could be the Fantasy Golf Degenerates, the DB World Tour Picks and Bet Show, both on Mayo Media Network, the Golflandia podcast, the Tour Junkies podcast. Rick, what podcast do you want to do it for you? How many do you have on the go now?
I'll do the personal one, 300 yards to unknown. Thanks, Pat.
There we go. Rasa, which one would you like from Osimo?
Yeah, you could just do just the Osimo Podcast Network, any of those, totally fine. Much appreciated.
Reid, do you have a podcast that you're a fan of that you would like someone to leave a review for?
300 yards to unknown, since I was a guest on it.
That's right. Talked about Bryson DeChambeau behind the scenes. Yep.
Talked about a little Bryson DeChambeau BTS. No podcasts right now. I mean, some of the stuff.
You talked about BTS?
No, not the Korean BTS. Acronym for the behind the scenes. We'll talk about that.
I was like, I missed that show? What the hell?
Yeah, maybe Kenny and I could have a podcast where all we talk about is like K-pop and like everything.
I can do it right now.
You can talk about K-pop and Sungjae, and that's the entire. That could be the name of the podcast.
Pretty much it.
Yeah. I can go 80 episodes on that.
Well, listen, if I'm going to
add strippers,
hey, listen,
I can go 160. Probably.
If I'm going to add this to series on Mayo Media Network, which everyone should subscribe to, by the way, I'm going to need more than 80 episodes, sir. I'm going to need like 300 to make it somewhat financially viable for myself. Anyway, There's 11 of us. It's a snake draft. Reid had the last pick of the 3rd round, which means he has the first pick of the 4th round, which is where we're going to start. So far in the first round, he has Tony Finau. He has Sungjae Im in the 2nd round. He just selected big ass forearms Paul Casey. Reid Fowler, who's your pick?
Yeah, I'm look, there's a lot of guys that you can go with, and I'm interested if the guys that I'm gonna obviously pass up on go with the guys that still have to draft here. But I'm going a little bit off the board. I'm going for what the Sam Burns, right? The Taylor Gooch that we're looking at, that guy that could rise in rankings, plays a lot on the PGA Tour right now. It's Matt McNeely. He's a big hitter of the ball off the tee. When he gets on these close courses, we talk about all the time, he plays well. He only plays on the PGA Tour. And again, he's someone that I think can scratch inside the top 50, top 25. If he gets going, Mav McNeely, I think, is going to have a big season.
Hey, you know what? His girlfriend's Korean.
Yeah,
good work. Good work.
There we go, man.
He's also like
they broke up.
They broke up?
Yeah, they're not together.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
That's bad for him.
You're fucked now, man. I mean,
that would have been pertinent information before me. He's going to be on. Well, he's like a revenge tour. He's going to be mad. He's going to be laser focused on golf now.
Yeah, when you select a guy who's going to inherit like $3 billion at some point, it's that fire that keeps him going on the PGA Tour. Skylar Hoke, so far, has selected Jordo Spieth, Brooks Koepka, and the Gooch, Taylor Gooch, in the first 3 rounds. Where are you going in the 4th?
Got to rip the Band-Aid off, start going international. It's about time. We got the European Ryder Cup team still waiting for us. Reid took Casey to end it. I think it was neck and neck with Matthew Fitzpatrick. So shout out our boy Baroff. We'll go with Fitzy.
oh,
Does he make you sad that he is probably the hardest person besides Patrick Cantlay to root for in all of golf?
yeah, I mean, it's looking back in the results too. There's not much more that I would need. I don't know. He's a tough one to judge. So I would expect him to hopefully break through it one of these times, but it feels right in the fourth.
Well, breakthrough cases are happening. Maybe it's the year of 2022 for Matthew Fitzpatrick. His time to break through. Yee. Geoff Fienberg, your pick. You have Xander Schauffele, Scotty Scheffler, and Daryl Atten as your pick so far. Where are you going now?
Yeah, a lot of guys who haven't won golf tournaments recently, and we're going to add to the list. Now, a theme that a lot of guys are going with here, which is the obvious one, try to find the breakthrough. The Sam Burns is that perfect example of it. I am sacrificing starts here, and a lot of them, and maybe I could have waited to get this guy, but I'm going to lose a lot of money on him this year because I believe there's one more genuine push to compete with this incredible wave of young golfers. And it's Adam Scott. I think we're going to see a huge win from Adam Scott this year. I am sacrificing starts by taking Adam Scott, but I think I'm getting a big one. Dare I say major, but almost in that Phil sense. Like, I think if there's any Wiley vet that's going to like do something magical in 22, it's Scott. And it's probably not fair to compare Scott to Phil and where they were, but I'm telling you, one more like truly dedicated effort to being great and taking on these kids 1 or 2 more years. He's going to bring it home. Scotty for me.
Well,
Ever since he said that he only plays like certain events, like the big events or whatever, I've seen him in like some shitty events. So he almost win Wyndham. He played a couple events in the fall. And if he keeps on playing those high-end events and throws some more of them in there, it could be money there, Geoff.
He's 44th in the world. At some point, you got to play some shitty events just to make sure you don't get yourself on a WGC bubble or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at fantasynational.com right now, Ben Rasa. And if people go to fantasynational.com/Mayo, then they'll get 20% off. Also playing that one and done, fantasygolfchampionships.com. I got those 2 giveaways, which I told you about at the beginning of the show. And plus there might be more coming down right now. I sorted by the last 100 rounds, tee to green of all tour players. Bud Cauley is number 30. Is that going to be your pick?
Oh, my man, I miss Bud Cauley a lot. I will say, I was sweating a college basketball game during the first part of the show. My team is covered, so now I'm officially in the zone, ready to make a charge. And
making excuses already.
Thanks for
What'd you
joining.
say?
Making excuses already. Yeah.
No, I got it. I'm rounding into form here.
Into it,
Everyone is kind of, I feel like, we were just talking about this, trying to find the guy who's maybe going to take the next step. To me, it's Max Homa. Max Homa got some experience, didn't play great in the majors, but he was there. He'll be in them again. When he plays well, obviously he pops, he gets some big finishes. I expect a lot of missed cuts, but at the same time, I also think he's live to win a couple times.
Yeah, when Reid picked Mav McNeely, I think he thought he was taking Max Homa. Sorry, Reid.
Max is fine.
I love Maverick McNeely.
Yeah, love Maverick.
God, I love Maverick McNeely.
Like, besides him, but not Max Homa, guy who wins actual PGA.
No, I love Max Homa too, but I really, really like Maverick McNeely.
Well, Pat Perry, you have Rory, you have Sam Burns and Harris English. It is your pick right now. Where are you at?
Well, I think this is probably going to generate a little bit of conversation here because I'm definitely going to reach on the guy, and I don't think you could win things like this without doing this. And actually, Ben took my guy. I was going to go with Homa there, so I'm going to go with a more risky play, and I'm going to go with Ricky Fowler. I'm going to take Fowler here. I think Fowler can be like Spieth of last year. I think he can get it back. We know his coach, John Tillery. He's been doing a whole lot of work. He's, he finished 3rd at the CJ Cup recently. I think Fowler is in for a big season.
Girl dad.
Pat's in last place.
I said he's a girl dad now too.
Yeah. So look, I mean, it's a risky play, but I think it's worth it. So I'm going to do it.
We were probably all thinking about Ricky. So when was was someone on the verge of taking him? There was a point where I definitely wanted him, but it wasn't in this round.
Hold on, Jed. Geoff Fienberg, raise your hand because you were thinking about it with your pick. Anyone else?
I wasn't though. Not yet.
The
Jeffs love Ricky.
Yeah, but Pat's forced me to raise my hand. I was not taking him in the 4th and probably not even the 5th. Maybe
I legitimately might have taken him on when it came around to me next.
mean, looking at
exact same thing as Pat. I mean, it's a very good chance. You know, Ricky, we've seen he used to be a top 10 player in the world. He's going to play a ton because he wants to get back in the WGCs.
Yeah.
Exact same thinking that Pat had. So I think it could work out well.
Freaking Ulrich loves Pat. I mean, he patted him on the back for the English pick. Now the Fowler pick. What are we talking about?
Here's the thing, though. I mean, in something like this, why would you not reach with a guy like Ricky Fowler? I mean, if you said last year with what Spieth did, I mean, everybody was thinking the same thing about Spieth. He's lost it. He was never getting it back. And then what did he do? You know, this year, I mean, had a fantastic year.
I say Ricky all that praise. I'm also very, very fucking glad that I didn't have to take him because I didn't want to.
Yeah, you are.
Well, I also only had, I was expecting to take Homa there, and I was going to try to go for Ricky in the next round, but then, Ben took Homa, so I just went with Ricky.
I guess the difference would be like, Spieth was awesome and Ricky wasn't. Wouldn't that be like?
Yeah, as someone that loves Ricky, that's a big.
I'm not saying they're comparable. Like,
was pretty good, guys. I mean, like, didn't he have like top fives at all the majors one year? Like, I mean, I know he's not Spieth's level, but he's pretty elite.
Yeah, I'm not trying. Let's not get out of hand here. It wasn't like I was trying to say they were on the equal playing ground, but between bad years going into the next year. But still, I think Ricky showed enough last year, or that he can do well in 2022.
Yeah, and it's going to be good because very few of us have players who are going to play the Puerto Rico Open and Corrales and have a really good chance of winning those.
Oh, Victor.
Yeah, and Victor. I think he's out of that phase now, unless he's really going for some guaranteed wins. Rick Gehman, you have Justin Thomas, Webb Simpson, and Aaron Wise as your first three picks. Who's number 4?
Yeah, I hate this spot. Quite honestly, I've already reached for one. There's 2 I want to reach for, and I'm trying to decide if I want to go that route. I guess I will. Listen, I'll bend the knee to the stats here. Last 50 rounds, strokes gained total. This guy's third behind only Louis Oosthuizen and John Rahm. He will, thanks to a victory, have a complement of tournaments that he can play, be able to choose his schedule. I'll go with Seamus Power.
That hurts. I was on him. I like that play. It's a good play. The guy's young. He's got the win. Not much to worry about. Can go out there, freewheel. I like it.
Seamus Power added to the team. Matthew Wiley has Patrick Cantlay, Hideki Matsuyama, and Corey Connors. Wiley, your team is pretty good on paper.
Yeah, on paper.
Well, we'll see how it is.
Right. I apologize for the DM. I just sent everyone to try to make them all laugh.
They made me laugh, Wiley.
Thank you. Did anyone take Louis yet?
Yes. Louis
Okay.
gone. Ulrich.
Answer's gone. English is gone.
Yes.
I'm going to blow your mind right here. I'm going to go Siwoo Kim.
Ooh. Good pick.
Thank you, Kenny. Genius.
He's
Smart guy.
Korean.
What?
Thank
There you
you,
go.
Jeff.
Well, I was waiting
Good
for
pick.
Kenny to say it.
I picked Cooper Cup the first round, and no one laughed.
Yeah, that didn't hit like you thought it would.
I thought it was going to land huge.
He's got all these jokes, the bits that
Look at these. I got to fucking list them.
There's a pandemic. He hasn't been able to get out to the clubs to work out his new
No.
material. He's testing it out on us right now. I love it, though. I love it, Wiley, because
I did a fuck, marry, kill instead of DMs. Go ahead. Next up.
All right, so it's me who's up next. So far, I have Morikawa, Neiman, and Will Zalatoris. I guess I have to take someone who's like 24 years old to really go with this team. Or maybe I need to balance it out, have a veteran presence on the team. Who do I have starred left next to my name? Jeff, is Tommy Fleetwood going to be any good ever again?
I don't know. I obviously thought about picking him, and I went with Scott.
He doesn't have his card. He doesn't have his tour card.
Last Christmas, he apologized because he had such a bad year the year before. So I'm curious what sort of letter he's gonna post to me this Christmas.
Where is he fallen in the world rankings? He's still at number
40th, 44th, 40th.
So
40th.
He's number 40. So because he's going
A
to
spot behind Mac Hughes.
Oh my God, 2 spots behind Lee Westwood. But anyone who's inside the top 50 right now qualifies for the majors, right? Is that how it works?
Yes.
To end the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sky, you would know this.
I want to.
He's in the
I think
Masters.
there's someone
for
else
sure.
you would rather than him, knowing you.
There's someone else that I would rather, knowing me.
But I don't want to say a name like for the integrity of the draft. I don't want to just blurt out a name that someone behind you probably wants.
But all
you can't do that. Nobody likes the guy to draft that just blurts
so I'm
out a
not
name.
going to do that.
Yeah.
All right, I need to get a proven winner. And I actually liked what Ulrich said a little bit earlier about Cam Smith in part 1 of this show, is that sometimes taking some really good putters is a pretty sound strategy, especially if they're going to show up at some of these shitty events, because, you know, if it's them versus KH Lee and you're just going to hope that they outputt the other guys. What happens to Brendan Steele all the time? The guy can't putt, so he's going to be winning these garbage tournaments through 64 holes, then all of a sudden Brendan Steele goes away because he can't make a putt. So I'll take Kevin Na with my pick.
God, it hurts.
DB.
Remember when Kevin Na couldn't win, and everyone's like, Kevin Na can never win. He's won 4 times over.
Remember when Kevin Na couldn't swing the club?
Yeah.
And the 30 for 30, if they I mean, it's an unbelievable. The guy who literally could not pull the trigger, and now he wins basically every single year.
Of course, he was one of the most hated guys on tour because he took fucking forever to swing a golf club.
Such a puffed out his chest to DJ this year, though.
How many wins does Kevin Na have before October? Just the Charles Schwab
I
2
don't
years
know.
ago?
He won the
Kevin Na's the
Greenbrier a
best.
few years back.
Kevin Na
But
is
it was a late
elite short game.
Greenbrier.
No, Neiman won the late Greenbrier.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're right.
And Na
Won the Sony.
Sony last year.
He won last year at Sony.
Won the Shadow leaderboard,
cut
the Tour
that
Championship,
question?
but that doesn't count.
Who had the question?
Yeah.
I want you to edit that dumb question of mine out.
Oh no, that's not happening. You know that's now the clip for the show.
There have been way better, worse jokes.
Yeah, but I can't. Wiley just can't be the star of all the Twitter clips. It can't work that way. People just think it's a show with
Come
me
on.
and him.
Yes.
DB,
Fuck Mary.
You-
Kill.
Matt, who'd you just take?
I just took Kevin Na.
Na.
Oh yeah.
DB, you got Victor Hovland, Matthew Wolf, and Jason, as Cam would always say, snorting the coke rack. Those are your 3 picks. Who's number 4?
Ask the Coker.
All right. So we saw Kokrak, right? The journeyman finally break out, get his first win. And I'm going to take a journeyman right here that I think God knows I've lost a lot of money betting him, playing him on DFS. But what about this time next year? We're going to say, man, can you believe Cameron Tringali finally won?
I
Great
knew
pick,
that was
Dave.
coming.
I'm going to go
That's
ahead and
so
take
good, Dave.
Tringali. It's got to happen for this guy. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got. So I'm going Tringali.
I thought
Can I
could get him
say
next.
that
Nice.
fucking act he pulled in Japan, waving like some Nimrod the entire weekend? I'll never get those scenes out of my head. People who were up in the middle of the night know exactly what I'm talking about. People who were not up think I'm insane.
I didn't see
That's fair.
Do you
What
remember
happened,
when
Jeff?
do you remember when he ratted out Alex Chayka in Florida?
No,
What
I
tournament was
can't
that?
explain what he was doing, but he was like waving to the crowd like he's the Queen of England, like after every shot.
Do an example of it. Show it. What do you mean? I didn't see it. Do it, Jeff.
We find him. Is there a video of this?
No way.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah, it was more like a. Well, thank you.
No.
Thank you.
No,
Why would he
I'm
do
not
it?
kidding. I'm not kidding. It
How
was
did
so
I miss
tilting.
this?
It was
Why
so
would he do that in
tilting.
Japan and not do it every week on the PGA Tour? I've never
He
seen him
did
do
it
that.
one
He's
week
an
on
idiot.
tour, and then he ended up that he was contending. I don't remember the event. He was playing really well. He was doing this.
He was
shit.
runner up at the Zozo.
and maybe that was it. And he brought it over to Japan, and it was whatever. Sorry.
Well, he's going to be
Nice.
waving all the way to that first victory this year, I
He
believe.
played so well this year. He was contending every week. It
Yep.
seemed.
He broke my heart the week that Spieth won. I really thought it was like the one week I bet on Tringali. He was cruising, and then just Saturday came, and that was the end of him. And of course, he wasn't going to run down Spieth. He was destined for Spieth
The
to win.
Valero?
Yeah, the Texas Jabroni Open with your winner Jordan Spieth against no one essentially. So DB takes Cam Tringali, Geoff Ulrich from DK Live Bryson, Louis, and Cam Smith, the most Geoff Ulrich team that could possibly be drafted. So let me see who's left here. See if I can I try to envision your pick here? See if I can.
It's actually, I mean, it should be pretty simple for you, but yeah, go for it. No, tell me who I'm going to pick because it's not hard to figure.
Matt Jones.
Gary Woodland.
Charlie
Carlos
Hoffman.
Ortiz.
What the fuck? Charlie Hoffman? I haven't bet Charlie Hoffman in my life.
You seem like a Charlie Hoffman man. You're jealous of his hair.
I mean, you guys have actually completely forgot this guy exists. Either that or he's been picked and I've missed it, but it's Mark Leishman.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it.
I thought that might be coming.
I didn't want to say
I didn't want to say it.
That
Like
was
we were
my
just
guy.
talking. We were just saying, don't throw out a bunch of names that somebody else might want to pick.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But I mean, I'll take Leishman, contends in majors, 35th in the world, plays all the big events. And guess what? He plays the Tournament of Champions too, because Cam Smith carried him to the team event win. He had a good fall, man. Yeah, I'm again. I mean, I'm with most of these flashy players, but like Leishman going before Tringali, I don't know, man.
We did.
Are we counting the Tournament of Champions?
Yeah, for this we will be. Yeah, because remember,
I have no champions.
Well,
remember the first year, Rick only picked players that played in the Tournament of Champions, and he blew all our minds because he got basically a free start.
Yeah, I got off to a hot start and couldn't hold on to it the rest of the way. But I had like 9 guys who played the Tournament Champions.
Yeah, well, your main man Lonto really let you down after like the first 3 weeks of the season.
Fuck Lonto.
It's been a tough run for Lonto.
Fuck, I had Lonto and Ricky Fowler last year. Absolute joke.
With the last pick of the 4th round, Kenny Kim has already selected John Rahm, Patrick Reed, and the Mexican Allen Iverson, Abraham Alce, as they would say en français. Kenny, who you taking?
We're going all foreign or hated. Mito. Mito. The guy has played 974 rounds in the fall. So he's going to play every tournament that he can. He's going to play those crappy tournaments out there too. He's going to get his rounds in. I'm going Mito from Chile.
Does he make the President's Cup?
Smart.
Yes, he does. He does. He makes the President's Cup this year.
He's going to get drafted a lot higher than half that team. So, fair question.
Mito. I have the President's Cup. Well, no, I don't. Answer my last 2. We're President's Cup guys.
And your whole premise behind Reed was that he was going to fight to make the President's Cup.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm really digging on that team competition aspect, I guess, what it comes down to. But no, but the guy plays. I have a feeling he's young. You saw how many rounds he played. Everyone saw after his 8th start in a row. Like, is he tired? Probably. But he's 20 whatever years old. The guy can go out there and play every week. He's got his card. I'm going to go and take that, and hopefully he makes enough cuts for me to win a little bit of money off him.
Okay, so Mito is in as the last pick of the 4th round. Kenny, you have the first pick of the 5th round. It's on you.
I'm reaching here. It's between Sergio and Patrick Rogers. I'm going to go Patrick Rogers.
Sergio and Patrick Rogers?
Yes,
I'm going Patrick Rogers.
Whoa.
I'm going Patrick Rogers. A 5th round pick. Here's the thing.
How many Crown Royals deep are you right now?
A lot right now. I probably should have went Sergio, but I'm going off the wall a little bit here on this one. I'm going Patrick Rogers. The reason why the game looked good in the fall. Okay, on Bent, on Bermuda, not just the POA, not just the California stuff that he went out there. He had his stressful moment. I don't remember if it was Q school or whatever he did. He had to shoot a certain score to retain Coin Ferry Tour. He had to shoot a certain score to get his card for this year. And he said that was the most pressure he's ever felt in his life. This guy, of course, everyone knows he broke Tigers, or he broke some of Tigers' records in Stanford. The potential is there. It hasn't been realized quite yet. This year, it's going to happen. He's going to get a win.
Now, I've heard about this potential from Patrick Rogers. Feels like 34 years. Is he on the senior tour now?
10 years.
I hear you. But you saw his game in the fall. He was contending. He was top 10. He looked okay.
Yeah, man. He almost won the Bermuda Championship.
Hey, you know what? I'll take that win in Puerto Rico. I'll take that Punta Cana win by him. I'll take those, And he's going to do good in Cali. So you get that little base.
He graduated from Stanford in 2013.
Yeah.
So not that long ago.
I mean, the fact that he
8
actually
years?
graduated showed you he probably wasn't that great of a prospect. If he was smart whatsoever, he would have left to go win on the PGA Tour.
Like I said, no research, but he also was second in events played last year. He was also top 5 in rounds played last year.
That's the best case you've made because nothing else resonated with.
Yeah, but I think he's including his Mackenzie Tour rounds.
I'm saying, watch. This will be the pick that wins me this week. I can tell you that right now. He's getting a victory. He's making $3 million. We're going to be good in the 5th round pick.
Or the pick that in a year from now is going to be tweeted out by Mayo and just everybody is going to laugh about. But that's okay.
That could happen too.
Hey, I do that all the time. I do that all the time.
My top 4 are pretty solid. I'm the last two. The last 2 I'm going with a little bit more. Events played and maybe possible upside.
That's the pick that's going to have you doing the Waffle House Challenge, Kenny.
I'm a fan of the Waffle House.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan. When I was in Augusta, I went to the Waffle House right next to this shitty motel.
Praise God, baby. Yeah,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, Geoff Ulrich, Patrick Rogers has been sniped from you. You pulled all your hair out. What are you going to do?
Dude, I mean, I love it. I mean, I bet Patrick Rogers every week. But I wouldn't have taken him in the draft. I got 2 Aussies. I got an American and I got a South African with a crazy last name. And I'm taking another South African with a crazy last name. I'm going to go Christian Bezuidenhout. Damn. This guy's full-time on the tour, man. He can putt the absolute lights out. He's winning an event next year. He contends in the majors. If you look at his major at 15th at the Masters, 11th players, top 30, US Open Championship. This dude is just good at golf. He's going to be playing all the PGA next year. Almost won the finals as well. I love the potential here for him.
All right. Seabez joins the team. DB, you're up. Cam Tringali was your last pick. Chris Kirk is your next pick, I'm guessing?
No, is Patrick Rogers this year's Benny On from last year? Is that what we're doing?
He's no Justin Suh. We'll put it that way.
Okay. Well, I was really thinking I would get Maverick McNeely at this point, but seeing as how he went like 2.5 rounds ahead of this, I'm going to go with the 57th ranked golfer in the world right now and another Georgia Bulldog with tremendous ball striking ability to keep me in it, Mr. Russell Henley.
Damn it.
Taking Henley. Henley and Tringali just feel like guys that are going to play a bunch of golf tournaments, have a bunch of top 10s, probably not win, but maybe, and just give me a nice high floor out of this.
Ulrich, you didn't want Henley? I mean, the guy you talked about Henley, even when he's not playing golf.
Yeah, I know.
Henley was the best pick right now. Absolutely.
He was a good pick, but I had to go Bez.
I heard the name. It's my pick now. I heard the name floated out there earlier, and it started to get me worried that someone was going to take him. Fortunately, they did not. So I'm going to go with my injury risk coming back right now. I'm watching some Instagram videos because someone shared them on my timeline. I was like, oh yeah, looks like Gary Woodland has full mobility again, and maybe this hip labrum problem that he's got going on, he's over it. So he's probably going to want to play to get his status back up. Fortunately, he can ride the majors because of the U.S. Open victory at Pebble Beach. But he's one to show up at Sony and Valspar and all these places. He's feeling all right. I got my eyes set for Gary Woodland. That's what I'm going to take in the 5th round. Matt Wiley, your pick.
Man, I thought I could get Henley. I thought that was the best play on the board. It had not been taken, and Dave took it. Maybe a little Henley minus. Carlos Ortiz.
Huh? Well, everyone, my entire queue is now gone, Wiley. Thank you.
We're all making the same face.
I'll take Ortiz. I mean,
isn't he injured? Doesn't he stop playing for this over the fall because he has some injury?
No, didn't he come second at Mayakoba?
I mean, Martin Laird. No, let's do Ortiz. Whatever.
I love him. I was going to take Ortiz as my last pick. I love Ortiz. Yeah. He's amazing.
He can't putt like Russell Henley, but he plays in like 33 tournaments. So
yeah, he withdrew from a shoulder injury at the Houston, but shoulders are not a big deal. He said it flared up about something,
Whatever.
He just came in second place in Mexico. He's fucking hungover.
Yeah,
he's fine.
Let's be real. Rick, you are up. You're adding to Seamus Power. You gonna go with like an Irish connection here?
No, I'll go with a Spaniard. I'll take Sergio here. I don't love it, but I think that's the pick to be made at the moment. Still an elite ball striker. Maybe he can find a victory. Otherwise, he had a bunch of top 20s last year. If he can pile up some cash, he's going to play obviously all the big events. And when you hit it like he does off the tee, you put yourself into a pretty good floor situation. So I'll roll with Sergio as my 5th round pick.
Right, so Sergio going to Rick Run Good's team. Everyone should go to rickrungood.com, by the way, and go check out the site. Pat Perry, host of the Tour Junkies podcast. You can go to the Nut Hut, start chatting with people. My boy AC's in there, Pat. He does a great job.
He does. We get into it a little bit, but he does.
Pat loves AC. Big fan.
I knew I was going to be the first one to do this because I feel like this guy has to have already been taken. Who has Taylor Gooch?
Yeah, that's
that was like round 3.
Yeah,
That
I
was-
do. I got him.
That was Sky.
Damn
That was in part 1 of the show.
Damn.
Third round.
I thought I heard my brain was like, I know he was mentioned. but I
Pat
can't-
has fallen asleep on a podcast.
If we didn't take Taylor Gooch by this time, we should not be on this show.
I'm
probably,
just
is what it
saying,
comes down to.
all right. So then I'm going to go with, I wanted to go Garcia. I can't stand him, but he's top 50 in the world. And so he's going to get to play in a lot of tournaments. I'm going to go Ryan Palmer.
It's good.
Colonial, Ryan Palmer. That's what they tell me every year. He's a member
Yeah.
there,
Yeah, he's a Texas guy.
Okay, always
They have there's a lot of Texas tournaments, if you go by the state narrative.
Does he get to be partners with John Rahm at Zurich still?
That'd be good if he does. They won it, right?
Yeah.
So
Ride the coattails of some.
I don't
Rahm.
really have many reasons for going with Palmer other than he was the first name that I saw right after Sergio Garcia. So that's it.
I like it. Hey, I like the brutal honesty here. Ben Rasa winning college basketball bets, drafting Max Homa with his last pick. Who's up?
Man, there's one guy that I feel like he had to have been taken, but now I'm almost positive he hasn't been. So no, I don't want to take him because maybe I'm actually going to pivot. I'm sure the guy that I'm thinking of is going to go pretty quickly, but I'm actually going to take Sebastian Munoz. Another guy maybe chasing the President's Cup and get crazy hot, pretty erratic, deep, kind of a against the grain type pick, but I'm going to go Munoz.
Okay, so Homa and Munoz for the 2-time, the only winner. Munoz.
Yeah, I'm changing his name.
Yeah.
Add a little flavor to it.
That's where I'm at here. It's very late in my time zone, by the way. So just remember that. I'm way ahead of time. I'm in the future compared to you guys in your normal times when we're recording this. Geoff Fienberg had Adam Scott with his previous pick. It was this 4th round pick. Who was your 5th round pick?
So now I'm worried like I'm missing the guy who Ben is referring to as who might be the obvious miss.
Yeah.
And this was the player, Pat, who I thought, well, if you're going to take Tommy Fleetwood, who I know you sitting in guys that you actually might bet once in a while, you would probably prefer this guy, and I am going to take him. He's in the Jupe Life crew now, only 34 years old, gets me in the big events. Shane Lowry.
And that is the guy.
You went.
I had a feeling that was it.
You went Lowry over Fleetwood.
We'll see. Maybe if the guys behind want to drop Tommy my way, I can have them. I can have them both.
I like that
You can have him, Geoff.
You have divorced Tommy Fleetwood.
Nope, I'll enjoy it, but there was just some really ugly. The bread and butter seemed to evaporate for Tommy last year, so that's a bit of a red flag. But I hope he gets it. I hope he gets it back. He looks real out of place when they involve him in those tailor-made shoots with really good golfers, though. At the moment,
Yeah, they probably filmed those like 2 years ago when it seemed like he was going to be like the best British player in years. Okay.
they added Fleetwood to their roster last year. They lost Rahm.
Oh, it's a tough scene for them.
Not saying the money was equal, but
Skylar
womp.
Skylar Hoke, host of the DB World Tour Picks and Bet Show with Tom Jacobs on Mayo Media Network. It is your pick for the 5th round. You haven't done something crazy yet. Who's the crazy guy you can take?
I got to wait one more round for, I think, one crazy.
Victor
but
Perez.
You mentioned this off of the top, and I think it's kind of falling into my lap. I did think that Sergio and Lowry were great values right there. I think that was what you had to do, Geoff. But we're going to hope a ball doesn't get stuck in the tree at Torrey again on Sunday, and we're going to keep the Magic Beans rolling along. Let's do it with Mac Hughes.
Mac Hughes. This team, man, Spieth, Brooks, Gooch, Fitz, and Mac Hughes. That has the potential to be very tilting to me on Sundays this season. Like, it really does. Because unless I'm betting Brooks in Phoenix, which I probably will again, whether he's playing or not, I don't know, but I'll bet him anyway. Like, I'm just not going to have money on these guys, it feels like. Reid Fowler, it's been 3 hours since your last pick when you took Maverick McNeely to kick off part 2 of the golf draft. You have back-to-back picks in the 5th and 6th round. Who you got?
Yeah, I know DB wanted Mav McNeely, so I had to jump on that, even though he was the 72nd in the world ranking right now.
Climbing.
Yeah, this is where it starts to get a little sketchy, right? Is trying to get these guys that are potentially guys that could do well, maybe some older players that might have some gas left in the tank. That's probably where I'm going with, and it's between Fleetwood and Rose. I think Rose, like, if we're doing this whole thing with the song dance with Spieth and these guys, and look, Spieth is a lot better than Rose. Rose was up there with the best of them not too long ago. So I'll go Justin Rose with this pick. I think he's someone that obviously couldn't get things going, maybe with the new, with the movement of the manufacturers, all the stuff, whatever he was doing, worried about the scheduling by the majors, all that BS is probably behind him. And he knows that this is what he has to do and he has to deal with it. So I'll go Rose with what is this? The 5th round, 4th round?
5th round.
I remember.
Yeah.
5th
So
round.
That
My
means
pick, yeah.
that means if you're going to take Justin Rose and he's going to have a good year, you have to go with his corollary player to kick off the 6th round and close out your team. I assume Henrik Stenson rebound year?
Negative, Ghost Rider. Stenson will be off the team. I'm actually going to step into Sky's world here. I'm going to go with the Euro player. I think this is a year that he actually does hopefully well. We kind of saw him pop in some big tournaments as well. He won last year at the Palmetto. I'm going to go with Garrett Higo.
No.
Yeah, the big lefty, Garrett Higo. Well, not big at all. He's actually pretty short. But I do like him. I like his swing. I like how he plays the game. And he's just someone, too, that I enjoy watching. So give me Garrett Higo.
He is going to be in the big events, and he wears the sunglasses of someone who plays center field for the Florida Marlins in 1996, which I really appreciate as a throwback. Sky, your pick to close it out.
Yeah, I think that's a spectacular pick there, Reid. I think looking into the way the schedule has changed, having those multiple events where you're going to get European Tour guys in. Of course, Higo does fit in a different ballpark with his win. And I'm going to go with another golfer who did notch a win in the fall swing, who also had a big-time European Tour win last year. We're going to get him in all these events throughout the season. I think he's mega talented. We saw a couple top 20s on the PGA Tour. Lucas Herbert is just so talented. So I think he's got his upside that we saw in the win there in that final round with his victory. So I think he's the one that's going to get a lot of starts and provide a little Euro Tour flair.
Maybe he's got to take some sort of former European Tour player as your final round pick. Will you be going the same way, Mr. Fienberg?
No, but I love all things Herbert. So great pick. I'm going to leave Emiliano for Ben here to finish off his team. In the same way that all you guys have been nice enough to leave me Tommy. So we're at the end of the road. I'm not going to leave this thing without the selection. I honestly was tempted to pick him before I picked Scott. So now we're at this part of it. And yeah, I'll accept my name beside his. Took him in the 3rd round last year. It was a freaking disaster. He didn't cash nothing.
Well, hopefully that changes for you this year, because you were very much in the mix of winning this entire thing. If you had just done anything, I feel like he could have got you across the finish line. Ben Rasa, DJ Berger, Billy Ho, Max Homa, Sebastian Munoz, as I will try to say it differently every single time. Are you taking Grillo, or are you taking Kyle Stanley? He fits your profile.
Yeah, he's right in my wheelhouse. Honestly, I mean, I have to take Grillo, so it doesn't really matter. I wanted to take Lord Raiden. I wanted to take Joel Dahman, but ultimately, I'm just gonna have to. I had Griot on the team last year. He was the good mojo to get me over the finish line. So I will take Griot with his Argentinian flag on the leaderboard.
Man, this President's Cup team this year is going to be pretty competitive. It feels like Griot.
We're winning. We're winning.
Hopefully, I mean,
Angel Cabrera.
Yeah,
a lot of options down there.
Is he going to zoom in from jail?
Yeah, once he's extradited, comeback season.
He gets to play on a simulator for the President's Cup. Pat Perry, you get to finish off your team this time around. You have 4 Americans and 1 Northern Irishman. Are you going to bookend your team with like Euros, or are you going to stick it with good old America?
I'm going to stick it way down in good old America in Aiken, South Carolina, and I'm going to go Kevin Kisner as my last pick. You know, look, I mean, we're in a President's Cup year. He obviously is always, you know, he wants to be on these teams. He didn't get to make it, on the Ryder Cup team this year. I think, he's, despite the fact that he's so up and down with how he plays, and it's not, we know he's short off the tee and whatever else. But look, he is a great putter. He's a super competitive guy. He still finished in the top 40 in the money list last year. He won a tournament. I mean, people kind of forget that because he was so up and down. But I think Kiz, is going to have a good year in 2022. I like him here as my last pick. And I know it is a little bit of a homer pick as well, just like English was, but that's okay. I'll take him.
You get a lot of quality starts from Kiz. You get a lot of winnable starts from Kiz because even when he didn't go to Torrey Pines last year for the Farmers, like, I'm not going to win here. Like, why am I even coming? I'll pick my spots a little bit better. Like, we'll see him at Sony and Colonial and Heritage and Wyndham and like spots where he can win. So I like it.
Absolutely.
Makes sense. Rick, you're up.
Okay, we are fully in dart throw territory. Ben mentioned him. I'll take Joel Dahmen here. I think that his win alone, I'm like 80% sure got him into the Masters because they elevated Punta Cana. So I'm pretty sure he's in to the Masters.
Oh, man, it's gonna be great for Patrick Rogers this time around.
Yeah, exactly. And you, after the Players, Dahmen was much better with his irons at the end of the year there. So I'm going to take a flyer, someone who might be able to take a leap this year. So Dahmen will round out my swap.
Okay. Is he going to be on Twitter Spaces with you there?
So so Sky, first of all, the NFT world is crazy. So Sky, EPAT and I are going to do a Twitter space, and Joel Dahmen jumped into the conversation.
Yeah, I saw
so
that.
he might be on as well. Maybe we can reel him in. I'll send him the link when we go hot.
I never get invited to his Twitter space.
You can hop. That's the best part about the spaces. Just hop on in.
No, I want to be asked. I don't want to have to do it on my own. I want to be asked. All right.
I got you. I'll get you on there. We'll get you.
Matthew Wiley, I need you to vamp about your pick because I don't know who I am picking after you. So let's kill some time here.
I'm going to drag it out a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, he can vamp.
Let's vamp.
Okay. So you slapwads left this guy on the board for me in round 6. I'm taking Taylor Gooch.
That one landed. That's good.
There you go.
Okay, there's 2 picks here. Kenny, what are you eating, Kenny?
I make chicken. I've drank too much. I need something in my stomach.
How
You
long has that been
DoorDash that bad boy?
No, actually, it was funny. I ordered McDonald's today. They messed up my order. I drove back, and I got my regular order, and let me keep the McChicken. So I was happy for that.
That's so good because all of a sudden you just pulled a McChicken out of your couch.
This is literally like shot 10, 11, and 12 right here of this. I need something in my stomach.
I would have been shocked if McDonald's said, "No, give us the McChicken back."
That's true.
Yeah.
She looked at it, grabbed it, I was like, "Nah, fucking just take it."
But you're a Crown Royal guy, right? I mean, like Canada owes something to Kenny, Pat, right? I mean,
I love the Canadian golfers too. I'm a big Canadian golfer fan.
I'm telling you, listen, we did this. We're doing this all remotely right now, but the move for all of us is Montreal 2024 President's Cup. That's got to be the.
We're already coming. The strip clubs in Montreal, from what I've heard, the best in the world.
I can vouch for that. There's a lot that are out of business though right now, and that was before the pandemic.
That sucks. It's okay. I mean, look, shitty strip clubs are usually the better strip clubs because if those are still open, you don't have to go to the high
I love
ends.
Montreal. It's better. Well, depends what you're looking for, but I'll just say in some respects,
Everyone knows what I'm
I
looking for.
enjoy it better than Vegas. There ain't no flat brim state trooper looking to ruin my fantastic life in Montreal.
No.
It's the best there.
I'm in. There's no doubt in my mind. Me and Tambo have already talked about this.
Speaking of which, Tambo was invited to come on the show. He just, for some reason, couldn't do it. I don't know why.
Do you remember did anyone see the video of the person who drunk tweeted at Tambo and called him T-Bone? Remember when he won? Did you see that video? It was okay. I'm gonna pull it up.
Wait, tell us about it, because I feel like Mayo still needs more time to figure out who.
I don't know. It was this woman who tweeted at Tambo.
Definitely a
after he won
great story for
showdown.
the last round of the draft.
Yeah, it was when Tambo like finished second in something, I don't know, King of the Beach or something, and
He was second. Won a good amount of money.
yeah, and she was drunk on a patio and she called him T-Bone. And she deleted it the next day. It was the greatest video ever. Anyway, I'm not taking Taylor Gooch. There's two players. Is Lowry been taken yet?
Yes.
By who?
I took
Fienberg.
Like 10 picks ago.
Cam Champ?
available.
Champ's available.
He is
I'm
yours.
taking Cam Champ. Cam Champ.
Fuck
I
off.
like that.
You serious?
Fuck off, Jeff. That's right. That's
That's the
boy.
only guy. Great. Now I got to do research.
I have a
There you
question.
go. Hey, Pat.
Yeah?
I killed 4 minutes there for you.
Yeah, but I was too busy looking at Kenny on the screen. He needs McChicken.
No, he can't stop looking.
I know.
I need to eat, man. There's nothing in my stomach except booze.
Not anymore.
If you started bringing out Crystal Burgers all of a sudden, Kenny, I'm out. I'm done.
I might have it in the freezer. That's the same as White Castle, right?
Yeah, but better.
I got him in the
and eat,
freezer.
Kenny. It's okay.
I got him in the freezer.
You go ahead and eat.
Sky, what you said that you might be sure, might not be sure about like Joel Damon getting in. Does Brendan Grace get into all these tournaments?
What's his OWGR? I wouldn't think he
66.
would.
Yeah, but he won.
So-
He won one of these like loser events.
Yeah.
Don't help him out.
He
Sky.
won-
Make him
he won
look up
Puerto
his own-
Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, so I think
So
he's
that
in. I
wouldn't-
think he's in the players in the U.S. Open. Is what I think he's in right now.
What do you got to be in like top 50 or top 60 to make the WGC events? He'll be close, right?
Yeah, WGC's right on that edge.
Yeah.
Guido's hitting.
By
it
the way, the
there.
Barbasol now is the last opportunity to get into the British Open.
Yeah,
One
they,
spot.
I feel like they just released that like as we're speaking right now, right?
It was recently, but it used to be an opposite field event. Now it's the last chance, so the field's gonna be okay.
Is
Why
that
don't you why don't all of you come down for it?
Ooh.
Come to Kentucky.
A faux DFS Open?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
that actually doesn't sound like a terrible idea. We can get
Oh.
we can be in.
I
Kentucky.
mean, think about Kentucky, though. Kentucky, little worried.
Why?
I'm not white.
Yeah, Kenny and I have to stick together. You know,
You look whiter than I do. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, you might have an edge.
You're with me. You'll be okay.
Okay, well, then we're good. Then I'm in.
Hey, well, I gotta lose the Berg. I'm just Jeff Fine.
That's actually a good name, Jeff.
I am going to go with a name that I brought up a little bit earlier, who I do like. It's weird. I was thinking about going with List just for my heart. Keith Mitchell, I think, is actually kind of sneaky, but I'm just going to take Chuck Hoffman. Just feels like the ball striking is not going to go anywhere, and he's just going to come like 12th, 8th, 23rd. He's going to be piling up money every single week. That's what I need out of my last spot. And I wrote down don't tank Doug Gim because it's going to make you feel stupid. Although he's going to win like the Players or something this year, like he should have this year. But I'm going to take Charlie Hoffman as my last pick.
For an old guy, Charlie plays a lot. That was my pick. I thought maybe I could sneak by. I like it. I like Hoffman for a 6th-round pick. You can't beat that. He was like top 40 in money last year.
He's just out there. He's out there every single week, and
Yeah.
He'll drive it well. He'll hit his irons, and sometimes he might make a few putts. Very rarely, but sometimes it happens. DB, your last pick.
Oh man. I think I'm gonna go. I'm torn here as well. I'm gonna go with a guy who had like 11 top 25s last year. Another guy like my last two picks who were waiting to have his first breakout victory. But I'm going to go with Harold Varner III, HV3 here. Plays a lot of golf. A lot of events.
I'm disappointed. Very disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I was debating the other guy that you're probably thinking of, but I'm going with HV3. I like his form better. I like what he's doing right now.
Geoff Ulrich, it is your final pick. I see 4chan Kim is still out there, but you feel like an Alex Noren or an EVR type guy to me.
Oh, I really wanted to take Cameron Champ here. I can't do that.
No.
I'm going to be the idiot who takes Jason Day. Roll the dice, Monty. Let's go.
I like that, Jeff.
Gotta. Yeah, I mean, look, it's the high. To me, you're going for pure upside. That's why I like Champ. Champ's upside is legitimately he could just vault himself into superstardom. Jason Day, if he's healthy and he starts playing again and he can find his swing a little bit, his upside is multi-win season perhaps or some high finishes at the majors. So I'll take a shot here. What the hell?
It's pretty crazy that he was stroking the ball fantastic for a period last year, and his putter just totally abandoned him. So you got to.
It's really crazy that he can just show up still and be in so much pain and finish T7 out of nowhere. So you've got to figure if he can just get through a stretch healthy, maybe something good's going to happen.
Jason Day, good Lord, is he not in the top 100 in the world anymore?
Nope. He's outside the top
115, I think.
Wow. He's behind Matt Kuchar still somehow.
Still got his card though, because he made he was still 110th on the money list somehow last year or something. So
you could have taken Aaron R.U. Jimmy Ray, who wants to know instead, who's even higher in the world rankings. Kenny, your last pick of the draft, who you got?
I had two choices. I was either going to go Korn Ferry, Taylor Moore, or I'm going Cam Davis. I'm going to go Cam Davis. He's got the win last year.
I almost took him.
That's who I wanted. That's who I wanted DB to take. That's his boy, but he couldn't do it.
You better clip Kenny making that pick with the cigarette.
All timer.
Yeah.
I've already tweeted a cigarette picture here.
He's there. he's won last year. He's got security. I'll go with the Aussie. I think he's Aussie, right? He's Australian.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Did no one pick Matt McNeely, or did I miss that?
Stop it! Stop rubbing that in. Stop.
All right.
No, I'm serious. Did no one pick him?
Yes, Reid picked him.
Reid picked him in for his first round pick.
No, go for 3 rounds.
I mean, I'm drunk and sort of high, and then you and I know that he was picked. So, I mean, come on now, Wiley.
Sorry, Kenny.
It's okay. I'm not high. I'm just kidding.
I guess it makes sense, but Phil would be the highest ranked player in the world not drafted for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Do you get his senior tour events? Can we write that in? Because I'll take Chaka if that's the case. And that puts it A.
What are we doing for losing for the person who comes last?
Well, DB said people should tweet at us or leave it in the comments section or in the rating and reviews to get in the giveaways, whatever it might be. I feel like that's I mean, we will have to agree on it, obviously. Should it be something stupid or should it be a monetary fine?
It should be something stupid.
I think it needs to be something.
So a good one that
Wiley's all the money. He doesn't. I mean, doesn't mean anything to him.
True.
Stupid.
We got to make it hurt. We got to make it hurt.
How about stupid and money?
I do like to do this, Pat. I don't know if we have time for this, but I like when we do our fantasy drafts, you have to name the team that you think is the best team on the board, not your own.
Oh, I got an idea.
Yeah, but here, hold on. Here's the problem, DB.
That means I got to look at your team.
Yeah, only
I don't know.
Only 4 of us know who's on everyone's team.
I don't even know who's on my team.
I have all the guys written down. I have no idea what team they're on.
Yo, Rick can't just throw that up on the screen real quick.
I mean, I could read them off to you. I don't know how exciting that is, but I have them in front.
Don't do that.
All right, here's the idea. Here's what we're gonna do. Ready? The person who finishes last has to sit in the chair with Kenny beside him and smoke eggs.
I could use some company. There's no doubt about that. So I mean,
you have to pay for your own trip.
I would be okay with that.
We just eat chicken sandwiches and smoke cigs.
Hey, we'll go to Paper Moon. We'll go Charleston. We'll be good. We'll be good.
Yes,
dude.
I mean, that's the leader in the clubhouse so far, by a wide margin. Although it's the the only option available.
Yes, there's plenty of room.
Oh my
There's room.
gosh.
Not trying to
Rasa looks
get
like he would
divorced.
fit cozy right here, brother. You know,
You're right. Even if I win, I'm going to do that, Kenny. So that, I don't know if that's
Good
punishment.
content.
Look, I have enough bad habits, and I quit the smoking thing like 7 years ago, so I can't get in on board with that. So
Kenny, I'll share a cigarette with you, whether I win or lose.
Absolutely.
There we go. Thanks, guys.
No
I need to
problem.
quit. Really, it's embarrassing. That I still
No,
smoke.
someone just has to endorse Kenny in the next adult establishment that he goes to for like an hour.
I'm good on though. You're gonna spend a lot of money in an hour if you're gonna
You can't lose
if you're gonna
A night
stake
with
me,
Kenny Kim.
stake me at a
Yeah.
a gentleman's club. You're gonna lose a lot of money.
I'm just
I
trying
guess
not
I
to get
can-
divorced over finishing last in a fantasy ball.
If the last place prize includes me, that's a possibility.
That's it.
Last place can't be too crazy. I mean, the reward for winning is not having to make a charity donation. Like the payoff, like the low end can't be so bad when there's not really even a payoff for somebody, but we can leave it to the people and they'll have fun with it because I will be in last place after the TOC. So they'll get all creative with their ideas.
Yes.
I promise you.
Finishing last is like the top prize right now. I want to go hang out with Kenny for an hour.
Yeah.
Here, well,
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to run through everyone's teams, and you can comment on your team. And if you do think that there is another team that you like or a favorite pick that you had, you can mention that. Kenny Kim, your team is John Rahm, Patrick Reed, Abraham Answer, Mito Pereira, Patrick Rogers for some reason, and Cam Davis.
Patrick Rogers is winning an event this year.
Oh my god.
Well,
He's winning.
doubling down.
He is
Oh my
winning
God.
an event this year. Maybe not in America, but he's winning an event this year.
listen,
Kenny's smoking with himself next year.
yeah, when they bring the Mackenzie Tour to my area in Halifax, and he can win maybe one of those ones, then maybe you'll.
We all say that now. I'm telling you, this is his year. He's winning. He's going to finish top 50 in the money, and he's winning.
Geoff Ulrich, your team is Bryson DeChambeau, Louis Oosthuizen, Cameron Smith, Mark Leishman with the soft C, remember, not the hard K, the soft C. That's always going to hold him back in these major championships, you know, when you need the fortitude to come through. Christian Bezadenhout, Jason Day to cap it off. An eclectic team, but a very Geoff Ulrich type team.
Sounds like we're winning all four majors, the players, and the tour championship, man. I mean, it looks good to me.
It feels like you have a lot of guys who might come second in those tournaments.
Yeah, I think my favorite pick is the Bezadenhout pick, just because he's so consistent. He's more consistent than people think. But I mean, the one that's going to sink me or swim me is Jason Day. If I can get a win out of Jason Day and like a rebound year, like sort of semi-Spieth-ish, I think that that'll put me over the top.
Yeah, if Jason Day can be Jason Day from 2014, you're looking good, man.
I just need him to play like 6 events, basically.
Well, he'll play
And
he'll
finish.
He'll just withdraw.
Play and finish 6 events.
Having Louis and Day on your team, it might be a real tough scene.
Oh no, it's risky. Yeah, we're full variance here.
DB Tour Junkies podcast, Hovland, Wolf, Kokrak, Tringali, Henley, and HV3 are the 6 you're rolling with here. I'm so mad you took Wolf. I'm still upset about it.
Well, I'm looking at my team and I'm like, you know what? I think I have the least amount of previous year winners on my roster, which is probably not ideal. That's probably not optimal. So I've only got Victor and Kokrak who've won an event. But you know, we'll see how it goes. I think, and I'm going to go ahead and do my own thing. I think the better teams outside of, I mean, I like my team, but now I'm liking it a little less without the winners. But I think Wiley's team, and I hate to say it, but I think Rasa's team is pretty deep. From start to finish. So I think those are a couple teams that I look at on paper and I think solid selections, and especially for Wiley, who was like half-ass paying attention the whole time.
No, that's what he does. He rope-a-dope you. No one did more research than Wiley for this. Trust me.
That's probably true.
That's how he does it.
Come on.
That's
Put
how
his
he
whole
does
team
it.
on this, didn't he?
Come on. I'm just a simple old Southern guy from Kentucky. Just out playing the banjo. What are we doing? Is Geoff awake?
Kenny's passed out in the chair. Hopefully no one comes. Someone might have to I always say has a shirt on because you don't want to fall asleep without a shirt on a leather couch. That's a rough time when you're trying to get up in the morning, especially if you have like the drunk sweats or the McChicken sweats going on halfway through the night, and you have to get up and take.
They're
a
happening
piss.
right now. You see the forehead right now. It's a little condensation going up there. So yeah, we're there right now.
All right, so we'll try to wrap this up. I got Morikawa, Neiman, Will Zalatoris, Kevin Na, Gary Woodland, and a rebound here in the safety of Charlie Hoffman. But I actually agree that Wiley on paper, and I think Fienberg actually has a pretty good team if some of these guys turn back into the guys that they were, not necessarily 7 years ago, but like 18. Basically, if they were just playing like they were going into the pandemic, Fienberg's team is going to be pretty good. But Wiley, you got Cantlay, Hideki, Connors, Carlos Ortiz, and Cameron Champ, which really made people very upset.
Cash it.
Pat, why wasn't Tim on the show? I'm angry about that.
It's man, I told you it's 11 o'clock here as we're recording. What time do you think that Tim goes to bed?
That's true. I had so many things I wanted to talk to him about. I need to be on a show with Tim at some point.
We'll set up a cuss corner where you can be the third person. How about that?
We'll love that. Thank you, Pat.
No problem. That's what you get. That's your reward for being here. Will Tambo pulled shoot on the entire event. Rick.
But I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning. It's 10 o'clock right now, and I'm still on. I don't know what Tyler's doing.
Just keep drinking throughout the night. It's be like you slept the
Yeah,
entire
you're
time
fine.
anyway. Wiley, how do you feel about your team? Because it's pretty good.
It's really good. I mean, of course, they're going to suck and finish last, but at least I get to hang out with Kenny. I don't know. I mean, what the fuck I'm doing? Listen, I'm the worst at PGA anything, to be quite honest. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It seems okay.
Sharp analysis from Matthew Wiley. Everyone should subscribe for more of this analysis to the Golflandia podcast, which I hear is returning in the new year.
Yeah. PGA DFS is impossible. It's so stupid. It's impossible.
Did anybody take Cantlay, Wiley?
Yeah.
Rick Gehman, Justin Thomas, Webb Simpson, Aaron Wise, Seamus Power, Sergio Garcia, and Joe L. Damon, your friend on Twitter Spaces, who gets invites instead of me. Maybe you'll get a bucket hat. You guys can all wear it together. Pretty solid team. But you have like the Webb, like Wise and Power. Are you buying high on those guys?
For sure. Yeah, I'm not particularly stoked with the back end of my team. I will give a hat tip to you, Pat P, who kind of snaked a couple of guys from me, starting with Rory and Sam Burns and Harris English. That's a very solid start. So I don't know if any of us have a whole lot of depth, but we rattled together a couple of decent picks at least for a couple of rounds.
Pat Perry, Tour Junkies, Rory, Sam Burns, English, as Rick pointed out, then Ricky, Ryan Palmer, and Kevin Kisner. You're getting a lot of starts from your last three picks, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, everybody outside of Fowler is ranked in the top 50 in the world. So I think there are going to be a lot of starts. It's kind of like, when I do fantasy football drafts, it's very good early on. And then the more I drink and do whatever, it kind of comes off the rails a little bit. And that's what I feel like happened to me. But I believe in this Ricky Fowler pick, and I think that's going to be the key to my team. And we'll see what happens there. I hate the Palmer pick. I never like to take Palmer, but I got thrown off. And that's what I went with. So other than that, though, I'm okay with the team. Feel good about it.
I like Kevin Kisner as a last round pick. I think that's really solid. Ben Rasa, Awesemo.com, Dustin Johnson, Daniel Hauscherberger, Billy Horschel, Max Homa, Sebastian Munoz, and Emiliano Grillo is your team. Are you going to win for the third year in a row? You can tell us now because apparently you're from the future and you know these things.
No, I don't. I think Rick's going to win, to be honest, because he's got Aaron Wise, and that's the key to all things. And I have to play man down because I picked Grillo like a donkey. But no, it's fun. I actually, it's so much fun with more people because we're forced to dig in. Last year, our last pick was guys from this draft that would be in like the second or third round. So this year we had to really dig into some diamonds in the rough, which is easy for me because now I can pick Grillo and feel a little less bad about it.
Jeff, Xander, Scheffler, Hatton, Scott, Lowry, and Fleetwood. I'd say like median world golf rankings, your team is by far the best.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I would say the thing that sticks out to me about how this draft unfolded was from the top. I believe 9 was an excellent pick because, as we discussed, there's a clear demarcation point, in my opinion. but I believe my second round pick missed out on that second sort of wave of a very talented player, and I was forced to make a decision. And everyone picked behind Scheffler in that round could easily have a better year than him. So we'll see. Scheffler's probably, I don't know. Yeah, it'll be important that he wins, I guess, and Fleetwood gets some life back.
Skylar Hoke, co-host, should I say, of the DB World Tour. DP or DB? DP, right?
I didn't want to break it to you earlier. It's DP. We have DB on the show with us, but DP World Tour.
But if I say DP too early, YouTube won't let me monetize it, is the problem.
Fair.
So the DP World Tour picks and bet show on the Mayo Media Network, formerly the European Tour. You guys had it lined up for like everyone else. You boxed everyone out. There was 3 events, and then a Marion virus, or whatever the hell that's called, really wiped out those South African events, and that was the end of that show for the year. But it will be back in the new year. Spieth, Brooks, Gooch, Fitz, Mac Hughes, Lucas Ibert. Although he is not French, I choose to say it that way because who's it? So what's the other Herbert who's actually from France?
Benjamin.
Yeah, is he any good?
No.
No? Okay. That's no good. Who's the guy who used to be good on the European Tour? I think he like won an event or two, and now he just hits the ball out of bounds every time off the tee and shoots like 92.
Ooh.
Matt Wallace?
No,
Andrea Pavon.
that's the guy. That is exactly who it is.
How did you get that just from that clue? That's
because he shoots like 16 over, like habitually. It's really bad.
Sounds Max Kiefer, my man.
Sky, I
I was
feel
gonna
like
say Beauregard, but
I feel like the name change of the European Tour is going to help your SEO value.
Probably doesn't hurt.
And put it this way.
I think it would.
Cuss Corner 30 or Cuss Corner XXX. By far the most watched Cuss Corner.
There you go. There you go.
Oh,
How you feeling about Team Magic Beans, Sky?
It feels like the best DraftKings roster you could put together. That would be first or last. So I'm pretty worried about my downside with what it is, but I think it has league winning upside to it. So, if I'm hanging out with Kenny on that couch next year, I wouldn't be all that surprised.
Well, as a member,
The couch is open, people.
I mean, it would make a lot of logical sense. I mean, it might be tough. You might need to invite a third if you're going to host your DP show with Kenny sitting next to him.
That is true.
Reid Fowler, DK Live, and of PGA Tour Live or Live. Which one is it? Because I always see like live under par, but sometimes I think it's like live under par, which would also kind of work, and it really throws me off. But you have Finau, and it really triggered Geoff Fienberg, Sung J M, Paul Casey, Mav McNeely, Justin Rose, and a pick that I did not like because I wanted to make it was Garrick Higo with your final selection. How do you feel?
Yeah, in this 11th spot, right, when you're on the edges, you have to reach for some guys. So definitely Matt McNeely was a reach. Garrick Higo. I mean, those 2 guys I had circled as guys that I wanted to watch this year. I think they're going to have big years ahead. It really matters too. Like we all picked guys that we think either can have a resurgence, right, like a Justin Rose, a Ricky Fowler, some of these players, Tommy Fleetwood. That's going to be the meat of it. Sanjay, he's just a machine on the floor, and Finau is the for the brand. If I didn't pick Finau, I mean Finau over Burns, that's probably the one that that could have been like, oh yeah, Sam Burns is a better player than Tony Finau, but I think Finau's gonna do well.
Yeah, but here's the
Asian power, Reid. Asian power.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you could have taken Finau and Sam Burns if you wanted to.
Yeah, I could have, but I like Sanjay. I like watching the guy.
All right. Reid Fowler, Reid T. Fowler on Twitter, DK Live. Thank you guys all for doing this. This was actually a lot of fun. I was worried that with all of us on the line at the same time that we wouldn't get through this, but I'm pleasantly surprised. We'll have to add one more person for next year and make it a solid 12-team draft.
Feinberg can't wait for that.
He can't wait.
You should have like an insane Squid Game for the right to get in this thing.
Oh.
Do we somehow throw it out to the audience that like one person can be on the show? But they better
100%.
Yes.
See, you say that.
Oh, yeah.
But like, have you guys? I mean, Wiley, you have like listeners on every single week when they win the Golflandia DraftKings League. I tried doing this like 5-6 years ago, and it just became it became a really bad segment because like people were bringing the fire when they were coming on. They were like, "Yeah, I made great picks." It's like,
Yeah, most of them are lunatics. You're right.
No, lunatics would be fine. That would fit in perfectly on this show. I need some fire coming at me though.
Yes.
Thanks.
I'm checked out. I've got no more content.
Okay, I will let all of you guys go out there. I will put everyone's Twitter handles down. I mean, you follow these fucking people anyway. But if you don't, make sure that you do. Rate, review, and subscribe to the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast. Leave a 5-star review, something you enjoy, Twitter handle and email address, and you are in a draw to get one of the free entries to the Race for the Mayo Cup, $500,000 guaranteed at fantasygolfchampionships.com. Go get your spot now because it will probably fill before the Tournament of Champions, despite the fact that it starts at Sony. It might even fill by the new year because it filled very quickly. But you want to get some more ballots in that draw, you have to do it to my show. But if you do it to, let's see here, Fantasy Golf Degenerates podcast, the Tour Junkies podcast, Golflandia podcast, 300 Feet to Unknown, any one of the Awesomos, DP, the Double P. No, wait, that's not even on that feed. What's the feed called? I should know this. It's on my own network, Sky.
Daily fantasy sports picks and bets.
The Mix is where you want to be. And I think that's all of it. And the whatever Geoff, I mean, just review mine for Jeff's anyway. Anyway, the more you can review people's podcasts on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you can do it, if you can manage to figure that out, the more ballots you're going to have in the draw for the free entry. I will announce it with my good friend Geoff Fienberg when we make our Tournament of Champions picks in like 2 weeks' time. So I look forward to that. I want to thank everyone out there for watching and listening. I want to thank all my guests as well because it's a time commitment and we all somehow were able to pick a day and a time in 2 days, which absolutely blows my mind and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys all as well. Smash a like on the way out, sub to the network. I'm Pat Mayo. Golf season is almost here. I'll see you next time.
You look so angry
Me?
the whole time. Yeah, you.
No, then I'm just passionate. You're mistaking passion for anger.
I should have known. You're right. Now
I don't know. I actually feel no. No, I'm not angry.
You sure? You still mad about Finau?
No, I got over that quite quickly.
I don't know.
Did anyone take answer yet, by the way? Did I
Yes.
stroke out? Okay.
I'm
fine.
pretty sure he's gone.
I was actually
me,
going to
my
ask
friend.
that exact same
That's me.
question.
Yeah, I'm worried like I'm gonna make an embarrassing omission because I'm not really scratching anybody out, but whatever.
I'll do that before you do it. Fine, but don't worry, it'll be me.
I have a feeling that it might not happen. That's going to be my guess. Although that's like big plus. That's like plus 500.
We're all professionals.
Oh, yeah. Kenny, you're not smoking it. Oh, there you are. You are smoking enough.
Hey, Casey's the last pick, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Experience!